is like Rajesh. So Rajesh, like I have like around 15, close to 15 years of experience, IT experience on various domains. I have worked as an ETL developer, and I have experience on BI environment, building in attractive dashboards, and having experience on maintenance side as well. Once we move into the cloud, so using like options like DevOps. So coming to like the main skill set of today is to cover about ADF. Like ADF is nothing but like Azure Data Factory. Okay. So before to that, so whereas ADF comes under the ETL part. So I have like on various tools I got experience into. And my career started with Data Stage, which is an IBM product. And whereas I got like Informatica experience as well. And I got experience in the familiar ETL tools, and even SSIS is one of the ETL tool. And apart from that, the ETL comes under again ADF as well. So coming to the BI environment, I have good experience in Tableau and very basic experience on ClickView, and good and a good experience on Power BI as well. And I have worked within so this is completely purely different domain that I had experience into, that is like maintenance side. And coming into the companies which I worked, like I worked for Capgemini, and I worked for Bank of America, and I got experience into Polaris as well. And formerly it's like now it is Virtusa Polaris, but of course completely Virtusa occupied. So it's like before Polaris, the financial systems should be most with Polaris. Okay. And I got experience in TechM as well for a couple of years. So, and I have worked for mostly I left like Cognizant. I couldn't work on that. So work in that company. Okay. So this is like a overview of myself. So this is all my around 15 years of IT, which I am trying to cover. And whereas I was into much having like 12 plus years in training as well. I was into 12 plus years of training also experience I have. I have trained first the tool called Data Stage, and next I have got much training on Data Stage, and later I moved to SSIS, Tableau, Power BI. So currently I'm continuing with the trainings of Power BI, Tableau and all. So apart from my work environment, till 11 a.m. in the morning, I can spare for these trainings. So my passion is to learn new things every time. So definitely in IT, we have to learn anytime, like everything, because we get upgrades. So to be more um, looking either into a packages wise or like into the jobs roles and opportunities wise, if you want be very attractive to the market, definitely in IT we have to keep on learning. Okay. So this is all my experience and all about myself before jumping into the tool. And before to that, I'm just giving you one of the link where it will help us to note your information, and we can get the follow-up kind of thing. We can do that. Okay. So if you miss to contact, we can because your work take, you might forget, but we can make it remembrance of the classes and everything if you just go and subscribe to this link which I have forwarded in the chat window. Please try to doing that. Okay. So coming to the class, the demo session, purely I'm going to jump into the demo. So I hope we are mostly people knows ETL nowadays. I hope so. Like many of us know, and but quickly I'll try to show you. the existing image which I have handy. So maybe here it's like purely the BA environment, the complete BA environment. I'm not really starting up from the scratch and I'm not trying to do it as we have some time constraint. What I'm going to do is already the image which I'm going to cover, like already I had, I'm covering it. Please let me know if you face any issues, if you don't understand anything at any point of time, you can stop me through your message. Okay. In the chat window, whenever you ping, I can see some message and I can stop over there and I can take it up. So to start up, so we are going to work for any one of the business legends, maybe in the retail, maybe in the hospital, or I mean healthcare, or maybe financial, banking, any domain kind of business people. We are going to work with them to support their projects or like to support their worker environment in automation way. Software is nothing the single solution for all of the businesses. It is just to automate the business without having much manpower, saving the time in a implementation of various applications or various sources. The software is mostly effective for the business people. So in such case, Amazon is one of the biggest retail legend in online sales services. So Amazon or any business, people who don't run in a same way for a long time. They do one kind of approach for 1 year. Later on, if they are not getting the profits as expected, they'll try to go to the another approach. Maybe discounts wise, they might give more offers to the customers to attract, or maybe the advertisements, they might go more deeper into the market and reach to the customers. So there are multiple approaches in such a way to improve the business. So they cannot, no business cannot grow immediately in an instance way. Definitely we have to grow one by one, step by step we'll take the decisions. So but what kind of decisions we have to take? Definitely in our work, in our life, regular life, in personal life as well, we cannot going to stand in the number one position at all at once, right? Daily we are going to learn something, and a few things, if you are capturing that your mistakes, drawbacks, everything, and you are, if you are overcoming in the coming days, definitely, yeah, you might learn something and you are growing somewhere, right? So in businesses also the similar way the field, the approach follows. So now Amazon is one of the business legend in online services. The customers are purchasing some products in Amazon. So what all the devices that you can connect to this Amazon website using any one of them, like mobile or a tab or a laptop or anything. So you might connect from, the customers can register from any kind of location from US, India, and Europe. So there, for example, you are trying for first time with Amazon.in. So you are registering to that business. So you are getting a user ID and password. And tomorrow, if you want to log in into Amazon to do something else, again, to purchase or something, like to return or something, you have to log in into that business, right? Log in into that business means like website or in a e-commerce website. So it will validate your user ID and password. And if it is valid and matching, then only it is going to allow you to enter into the Amazon.in. I hope this is all you people are aware of it, right? So whenever it is validating means, definitely Amazon is storing the registration details in some kind of storage. So that is called DB, the logical storage of the data database. It can be either in any one of the format. It can be a text file, it can be a DB, it can be any DB like SQL Server, Oracle, DB2, or it can be an Excel sheet, XML, JSON. So it can be performance wise, these are going to vary. In a text file, if you want to identify some information, it will take a long time. If you are DB, if you are good at SQL, writing SQL queries, it will be faster. SQL engine is going to work for you. In Excel, yeah, basic Excel, we can have to store the data, we can filter out and we can get somewhat the advanced level to the next to the text. text files. So such a way, according to the client's investment and according to the client's standards, the people will be maintaining the kind of source to maintain the client's information, customers' information. So now Amazon assume that like Amazon is using SQL Server as a OLTP database, online transaction processing system, which is in other way called as RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. Whereas this RDBMS is like a terminology when we are learning. But in the work environment, we shouldn't use RDBMS. We should mostly habit to use of OLTP, online transaction processing. What kind of DB is this? I said it is a database. The database is storing in OLTP. For example, what kind of data will store here? It will store the data which is in a detailed format, like a business way or its business data storage. That means what? If a customer is registering to the Amazon, that customer details will be stored. And the customer who is purchasing a product, after purchasing the product, the customer details will be stored in a customer table. Maybe that product can be exchanged based on the exchange policy on that product or written based on that policy. Then those tables will be stored in, the data will be stored in these tables. So like this, everything which is running in the business, the transaction in the business will be storing in a table. As a database, I'm saying it is a database. So now the products you are purchasing is related to some of the category, any one of the category. So the manufacturers will maintain or like will create the table data loads into these tables. The information from category, subcategory product information would come from the manufacturers like Samsung, Lenovo. These products are manufactured and they are going to store into these tables. So once the manufacturer products they stored, the information of the manufacturer itself will be stored. And once the order is ordered from Amazon business, from e-commerce website, that order details will be given to the delivery team. So the Amazon delivery team has to take the customer address, current address, and has to deliver. So these all tables are going to physically maintain the information in the form of a data and in the form of table and a column, whereas in the database. So such kind of data to run the business, we are able to use this whole database. So that's why we call it as OLTP, Online Transaction Processing System. Online Transaction Processing System. I hope somewhere here it should be clear. If you are not clear about at this point of time, please raise a concern what you understand or what you did not understand. Because if you have any concerns, I cannot go further. Up to here, up to OLTP database, whether you people are fine or not, just let me know. I mean, if you have any questions. Like what I'm saying, like what kind of data is going to store in OLTP, I just mentioned. As the Amazon business is going, generally I discussed the general things which Amazon's e-commerce website will take place. If you go for a enroll as a customer and if you purchase a product as a customer, once you purchased a product based on the exchange policy or the return policy based on the product, what you are doing, these all things just at a high level I discussed. Next, all the products will be related to some categories. So that category information also will be provided based on the manufacturers. The manufacturers will be selling their product in the Amazon e-commerce website. There are a lot of customers in Amazon, right? So those, once the product is ordered and that information will be given to the delivery team to deliver that product. So the delivery team should have what? The customer address. Where we are going to get these all things happening in the OLTP system. So this is one kind of database where the Amazon has to use, or else any other clients, means irrespective of the business, irrespective of the client, I'm talking about the general terminology of the business process. I haven't seen any ping from anyone, so I feel that your people are fine, like you got something here, up to here. So the first level of the database is RDBMS or else OLTP, which will store the data in the form of detailed way, which is helping to run the business. Up to here, it is clear. Now, assume that Amazon started its business like 10 years back. Now it is almost all 10 years or like 5 years or like some duration it happened. Now, Amazon is getting something like 1 lakh of rupees as a profit for suppose, but it is not the expectation of Amazon. Amazon expect is like 1 million, but it is getting like only 1 lakh of rupee. So Amazon want to know where they are doing mistake to reach out to and what they need to be done with the reaching out for the 1 million as expected. So to do this, first of all, they have to know what they did so far. Definitely in our regular life also, to take some decision, we will just assume like what we have done earlier in the past. Based on that, maybe our decisions can be positive or negative, whatever it can be, we can take a decision. For example, I have, for example, like you people are purchasing or going for a movie. For example, in our area circle, we have two different theaters like Gokul and Satyam. So in the last movie release, there was a movie release within these two theaters. So I thought of to go for Google. I went Google and I came back. And I felt some bad experience, but after movie starting, they got switch off the ACs and it was like difficulty to watch the movie throughout. So next time, tomorrow, I'm getting one more movie releasing and I want to go for. But do I choose Gokul again or will I go for Satyam? Maybe that Satyam, I don't know what will happen and all. But still, I'll try to book it to the Satyam because already I had a bad experience with Gokul. Why should I go for again? Then what I'll do? Definitely, I'll go for Satyam. So that means I'm going to take a decisions for the future based on the previous history. So the business also, they want to take the data and store the data in the form of summarized way, in the form of dimensions and facts, in the concept of data warehouse, in the OLAP system, online analytical processing system. So this is another kind of DB. Another kind of DB means maybe in the learning environment, we call it as a data warehouse database, but in the work environment, we have to call it as OLAP, online analytical processing system. Online analytical processing system. So now the data which is in a detailed format as a customer table or like general customer table, exchange table, return table, and categories table, these all are going to convert into the dimensions and facts. What is a dimension? What is a fact? Generally, we will talk these things in the sessions. That is what we are going to do in the upcoming sessions. So throughout this training. So who is going to convert this general data into a like detailed data into a summarized data? Nothing but the process called as ETL, extraction, transformation, and load. They were extracting the data which is in the OLTP and do some transformations to convert the general customer into the dimensions and facts to categorize. We do some transformations. After doing that, we load the data into this data warehouse. Once the data is loaded into this data warehouse, the data would be having, the database would have the relationship between the dimensions and the facts. So the dimensions and facts relationship is nothing but a schemas like star schema, snowflake schema. So whereas the ETL comes into the picture here. So the ETL, don't note this, just we can ignore this. In place of this, we can make it as ADF, which is a cloud-based component, where ADF is going to extract the data from OLTP and do the transformations to convert that summarized data, detailed data into summarized in the form of dimensions and facts. The transformations will take place and load that data into the warehouse. So one single and simple transformation I'll let you know. What is that? For example, I see like there are different customers coming from different regions, right? If you see US based customers bills their currency in the form of dollars, India rupees, and Europe euros. So now I cannot compare the US sales with India sales or Euro sales directly, correct or not? If I'm having 10 sales in US and if I have like 20 sales in India, I cannot say that India sales are very good, because the cost wise these two getting differ. The currency values will be different. So I have to convert these three currencies into a single currency. Either it can be a dollar, either it can be a rupee, either it can be a euro. So that kind of process is called as transformation. That process is called as one of the transformation. Like that, we have to perform. And the other transformation, I'll tell you. Maybe this OLTP data, some part of the data is storing in a text file, some part of the data is storing in Excel sheet, some part of the data is storing in Oracle DB, some part is going to store in SQL Server, and some more in DB2. Now, these all different various sources I have to integrate into a single source. I have to integrate into a single source. So that is called integration. That is one more transformation. So like that, we have to do 15 to 25 transformations. Just to quickly show you what all the transformations that I'm talking about, we have to go to Azure.Microsoft portal. Why should I go for Azure.Microsoft portal? Because ADF is a cloud resource from Microsoft. Cloud resource from Microsoft. So if you people are aware of it, Microsoft's product, Microsoft is a good demand, high demand product and high demand company in the market, right? I hope no need to explain about Microsoft. Definitely everyone knows what are the standards of Microsoft. So before jumping into something like into ADF introduction, to come back to this concept again, up to here, do you people have any questions? Because I have just introduced the ETL part, but definitely make sure that you are clear up to here. That I'm not shown anything in the practical way. I have shown in the something theoretical way, and I'm now starting off the practicality. But before to that, just let me know. Do you have any questions? Quickly. See, this is the part of ETL. And next part, once the data is loaded into the warehouse data will look in the form of a database in the tables and rows in the form of textual. So understanding the textual information would be very difficult. For example, if I'll show you the database now, I'm just connecting to SQL Server using SQL Server Management Studio, SSMS. Whereas SQL Server Express Edition, which is the database which you are going to install in your machine, and whereas it will store in a binary format in the machine language. So what you need to do, you need to use SSMS to connect to that SQL Server Express Edition in the GUI. So SSMS is the client component which will help you to connect to the server component. Okay, so it is an interpreter which will act like an interpreter between the user and the database. Now, I have different databases again, and I'm going to go to this one of the table, and I want to extract the data. Tell me who is having the highest salary here? Who is having the highest salary? If I try to ask you, if you try to understand, maybe how many records I have? Only 40 records I have. Within 40 records, if I want to understand who is having the highest salary, definitely it will take off minutes of time. Then what should I do? Simply, if you are good at SQL, we can go and write order by sal. I can write order by salary. So when I do this, automatically I'll get the first one is the highest salary. Okay, this is ascending order. I'll just do it in descending order. So now if I just execute it, 24,000 is the highest salary. If you are writing a query, it is taking some less time. If you don't write a query and if you want to understand, definitely it will take some time. And again, I want to know departmental wise what is the highest salary. 24,000 is the highest salary based on the department. Okay, again I want within the department again, means my query I have to expand to write in a group by function again. Correct or not? So either we to understand the data, we have to write some SQL statement. But what is my concern? Who is going to observe these reports? Who is going to investigate on these reports? These reports are investigated based on the BI people, means like business administrators, like BDMs, business development managers. What is the background of these BDMs? They will be completing their MBA graduates. They will be MBA graduates, not the software guy, MCA or like CSC. These people will not come into the BDM roles. So BDM means business development manager, who will be completing their MBA administrations, business administration in masters they do. They will be suitable for these roles. They don't know SQL. They don't know what is. So then, of course, they are good in SQL. If based every requirement, if I am trying to write an SQL statement and pull the data in the form of a textual, will I be more interested in observing or understanding the data? Sometimes I'll get a headache thing. Sometimes I feel boring. Sometimes I feel I miss some values. Definitely. So these all things are the drawbacks if the data is storing in a form of textual in the DB. So that's why the reporting tools comes into the picture, like Power BI, Tableau, or like ClickView. And what they do, they convert the textual information into the graphical representation in such a way, attractive dashboards to build for the BDMs, to show the BDMs. Okay, then they will be showing interest. For suppose, okay, so BI is not our scope, means reporting is not our scope. So what I want to do, I want to stick on up to ETL. Okay, I hope. So this is all about the whole BI environment. Whole BI environment. So BI means business intelligence. What is meant by business intelligence? Getting some raw data which is storing in various sources and making that into a single platform, maintaining in a single platform, and converting the information in a graphical representation is nothing but a BI. Within the whole BI process, ETL is one part of the BI process. ETL is one part of the BI process. Don't consider this Power Query. It's like related to Power BI. Okay. So this is your ETL, extraction, transformation, and load, where we can perform the ADF. So once again, I'm just trying to remind you that if someone is missing this form, please try to fill this form and just please submit. I just again pinged you. Please go ahead, because definitely it's very mandatory thing that we, maybe you are continue will be with us further or not, that is different case, but don't miss out to fill that form. Okay, just in future it might be useful for you, if not currently. Okay, so this is your Azure resources. So here I got like Azure cloud platform, and here we got like ADF. So now if you go for this ADF, this is your user interface. I'll just show you the user interface for today, and from tomorrow we will go and debug into in depth of the ADF and data warehousing concepts and SQL server, everything in the coming sessions. At once we cannot do all the things. I'm sorry, I just mistakenly closed that ADF resource. I'm just opening again. If I go again, so we have like some Azure basics required here. I'll cover them, which are required prerequisites we required. Definitely, I'll try to cover them. Okay. So without any confusions, we will go ahead. Okay. No confusion, no drawback, no nothing. One point I want to make a note of here. If you people are fine, just try to go through this point once again. Like Azure Data Factory allows to configure the Git repository. Why you should come to ADF, I'll talk. So Azure DevOps are like GitHub. So version control system, allow tracking. So this is one of the best note point you have to do for now. Why? Because you should know what is the main reason coming for the ADF. Why? Because I have SSIS, I have like some Power Query, BI tools I have. But why we are coming into this so as I said, some tools we have like BI tools, ETL tools we have. Then why should we choose the ADF? That is one thing if you want to know. We should know about the DevOps repository configuration as well. GitHub. Okay, so now coming to see the ADF, this is the home page. This is your home page. In your home page, you can see some templates which will be performing based on some GUI. What is ADF? ADF is nothing but a data factory, Azure Data Factory. What is a data factory representation? See here, we have few concepts here. We have something like which is in a factory, and we have some objects within that, whereas that factory contains of these things. So mainly the ADF is also one of the factory where you work on the data in different transformations. We use different transformations. For example, you take a paper industry. So they, how the paper will be printed, maybe at high level, if you see, there will be different machines which will convert the raw material into the like paper quantity. Correct or not? There will be different machines. So like that, here also there are different transformations which will work to on the data to convert into a raw data to the textual information. So here, when I come to home, so to prepare them, we have some predefined templates. You have to just change the source information, target information, and you have to run the flow. But if you don't want to do that, if you want to start from the scratch on your own, then what you can do, you can go to the other. Then you can go to the other. The pipelines which you are designing, you are going to be other here. The data sets which you are taking, you are going to be other here. The data flows which you are designing, you are going to be other. So that's why we say this other, that you people are going to work on your own, and you are going to construct some pipelines to flow the data flows and data sets combination in a pipeline. So what is a pipeline? What is data set? What is data flow? Definitely we should know these things. But right now, if I talk, maybe you feel it will be not really a proper way. So what I want to do at high level, I want to visit every tab and I want to show you at high level. So later on we'll come down to again. So okay, for now I have some existing pipelines. If I just go to this conditional split, I have one of the activity called data flow activity. Within the pipelines, you can take the activities. If I just talk about these things, maybe few of you might recognize or like might be remembering about SSIS. SSIS also having the same terminology nearby, like activities, control flow activities, and data flow activity, data flow transformations. Then it looks similar, no? Then again we are coming to Azure Data Factory. Of course, it's looked like similar, but definitely we have few features and few changes in ADF as well. And coming to the main concept of ADF is what ADF is in a cloud-based component. Correct or not? It is a cloud-based component. So in the cloud today, in the earlier days, we have to work with water flow model. Water flow model means what? What all the first of all, we work in the projects. When we work in the project, first of all, we have to do what? We have to take the requirements from the client, and after completing the requirements, we have to design the documentation, like technical design documentation. And next, what we have to do, we have to start implementation of the coding. So like this we have to do. So the water flow model will take one by one. It will not do, means what I mean to say here is within Amazon, how many businesses will be there? Lot of, like they are related to sales, manufacturers, and inventory details, and there are multiple products, employee details, customer details. These all are different modules that we have to construct a database for Amazon to maintain all these things, right? So this is, if you are doing one by one, that is water flow model. That is, if you are doing one by one, that is water flow model. If you are doing parallelly, then that is agile methodology. So agile methodology will have a continuous integration, continuous deployment, CI/CD. So which all the tools which I mentioned before to ADF, these all are not really effectively support for this agile methodology. So what all things supporting for ADF is mainly to be support for agile, means the load balancer. For example, this is your server, Assume that this is a cloud component, which is a server. And within on top of it, you are running multiple resources. Sometimes you can fall down the servers. Sometimes you go for a bank. What they will say, server is down, we are not able to work today. So that load balancing also will take automatically using the concept called what, HA proxy. HA proxy. So this is one of the component which will take place. And we have some data repository configuration, means whatever you work in ADF, the code which you develop, that will be saving in the repository like SVN or like GitHub, or like GitHub is like public repository. So this will automatically work with the client to achieve their process. So agile methodology, to convenient with agile methodology, ADF is the best ETL tool for now from Microsoft we are getting. ADF is the best resource from the Microsoft to work on this agile methodology process. So that is the reason, one of the reason we come down to this, ADF. And it's having a good number of packages. You don't believe, you are having a good idea or good experience, exposure into ADF and some part of Databricks. Definitely you will have a good hikes. So there are no exact, means like what I mean to say, like valid resources which they know all the process, because these are not going to work on normal clusters, they are going to work on Spark clusters. So the Spark cluster will be more faster than the other servers. So we have to know those things. So definitely you'll have a good package within ADF. If you have minimum 4 years, 3 years, 3 years is enough. 2 years also fine, but Databricks is mandatory if you have less experience. Databricks is one more source, one more ETL tool, which is a code-based ETL tool. So, but it's like once we complete the ADF, then we can go for the Databricks. Don't go with parallel mode. Means if you are convenient with Python, convenient with PySpark, something that case you can go with Databricks, but don't go with Databricks until unless you got, because if you start with ADF, we don't go with the Databricks. First of all, you have to learn ADF, because ADF, through ADF, we can trigger the Databricks as well. If you come down to this Azure Data Factory, you can see here the Databricks concept. You can trigger from ADF also. And Databricks is a separate ETL again. It's like a separate resource we have from Microsoft Azure. So coming back to the ADF, data flow transformations we have to talk. As I said, these all are the activities. I'm not talking anything in depth. You don't need to worry at all. Okay, I'll talk these all things in detail coming sessions. Now, if you see, we got all these different transformations. I said no, we have to work on different transformations. Okay, so what I can say for now is ETL, we load the data into the warehouse using the sink transformation. Source is your extraction, sink is your target. That means what? Nothing but your source is OLTP and the target is OLAP. Okay, so this is a high level demonstration that I want to present for today. And I want to stop here because of some time constraint, as I said, as I mentioned in the starting of the session. And one more time, I'm reminding you, people, just please go ahead and do this. Nothing will happen. No one will force you. No one will be threatening you. Definitely, it's a free relationship that we have to get. And maybe today you are not really possible to join or like something, but tomorrow in the future we can reach out to you and we can give some benefits. And coming to the technical benefits as a faculty or like as a trainer mode, if I am into, I'll just talk few things about this repositories also. This is what the technical drawback, I mean, technical, uh, uh, what I mean to say, like, it's like advantage. Maybe if you feel that there are a lot of trainers, a lot of institutions, a lot of things are there, right? Really, don't think you people don't know those all. Definitely you know. But what is the difference I can tell you is, if you are joining with us, technically I can do you a favor to talk about these things as well. So learning only ADF is some part, it is good, definitely. And learning the other around the work also will be helping you a lot in the work environment. So this is the technical support I provide from my side for who people joins with us. Okay. So till now, I have shown you just an higher overview of ADF and what all I'm going to talk in the coming sessions. So I'm going to talk about data warehousing concepts. Very mandatorily you should know. And one thing I can tell you, I'll cover 3 to 4 hours on this part. Today, nowadays, no people are going to cover only 1 hour at least they are talking about. But I feel this is very, very recommended concept. If you are just going your experience beyond, definitely we should know these all things. So what I suggest is make sure like these 3 to 4 hour sessions also very mandatory for us. Okay. So this is up to now from my side. And quickly, if you people have any questions, you people can post your questions. If not, we'll connect tomorrow. And I want to take very, very few questions because the time constraint, as I mentioned again. And please don't try forget about this link which I've given again. Just try to fill that. Just they'll follow up that nothing will happen. Okay. Once again, I'm just letting you know. And coming to this questions and all, yeah, definitely we can post. If you have any questions, I'll answer quickly. I'm sorry. Yeah, SQL is mandatory. SQL is enough, Suresh. So Suresh question is, what are the basic skill set required to learn Azure? To be honest, it's not like a prerequisite. Definitely we can. And Kranti, the same timing I prefer in the early morning, very fresh mind. So I feel like regular classes will start from tomorrow. And once you can talk to the management, fill that form. Definitely you'll get information through message or through call. They'll call you everything from management side. Okay. Yeah, definitely, Kapika, Kaipa, I'm sorry, if I'm Sarvotam, we will provide you. We will do it by today. Yeah. Duration, every detail we'll try to get today done. Okay, we will get it today. Cost of the course, Raghuram, you have to ask management side, and if you fill the form, definitely you'll get the call, or else the related will approach you. Sai Prasad Akutota. Sai Prasad, I'm sorry. Can we learn Power? Yeah. That's a very good thing actually. If you learn Power BI with ADF, it's like if you're having interest and having time, sufficient time, everything. Kranti, it's all about the recording sessions will be shared. Not sharing, you will have an access to your mail IDs. You can access them. Okay, you can access them. Until the course completion, after the course completion also we'll have the time. Okay, definitely technical questions, management related questions, those two are two different. Okay, just make sure that Parameshwara Chari, how can we create ADF account to practice for at least 6 months for 1 year? I'm sorry, to correct you, ADF is a resource. ADF is not having an account. Azure is having an account. Azure Cloud Service is having an account. You have to get a free trial. If you have one credit card for 1 month, you will get a free trial for 1 year, 1 month, first 1 month. If you means at least 6 months means you should have at least 6 credit cards and 6 new mail IDs. If it is like one day, if you want to make sure to get a pay-as-you-go account, yeah, definitely you have to take care of the resources which you are creating and then you can work on. But free concept, free licensing wise, you'll get a new credit card, and new credit card wise you can get a new card. No. So the Parmeshwar, again, the continuation question, with the same card, can we get multiple IDs? No, we cannot. Without credit card, there is no solution. Quickly, the last question we'll take. Fine, then maybe we are good to go and we can wind up the session for now. Okay, just we'll reach out to you. Just let us know your interest. Okay, just